Hey guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. A few things to talk about today. I've been reviewing Trump's visit to India, which was part embarrassment to most Americans and part comedy. Watching him try to pronounce some of the Indian names was just a Saturday Night Live skit could not have done it better. The way he fumbled over and just tried to pronounce some of these names. Okay, one real thing I want to talk about is there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of stuff here on YouTube. David Packman talks about Trump and a possible substance abuse issue. And I've always thought this is a high possibility, but being a recovering drug addict, I'm very careful about saying anything until I have a solid opinion or solid for me personally to have solid evidence myself before I start talking about it. But I've always believed it myself. But the thing that sticks out to me the most is when he was talking in one point in India. There's several times these days where it just appears there's a different man talking. His voice is completely different. It's a low, gravelly, uh, slow speech. It completely different from what you like usually at the rallies. It's a higher voice. And then this reminds me of typically of somebody using a substance without a doubt. The way at the rallies, the way he jumps around and gets excited, the hand motions and everything, but especially the way he jumps from one subject to the next without any reason or explanation. Definitely. But the biggest thing is when I mean, I used to go through this when I would be away where I wouldn't get the necessary dose of whatever I was addicted to, usually heroin. It was I was unable to hide the change in my demeanor, my face. People could look at me and just see it in my face before I even started talking. It's something you can't hide. And I wasn't 100% sure before, but looking at him talk in India, it's like a completely different person with his eyes halfway closed. I can't believe his voice is so different. Yeah, this is why I didn't say anything before, is because there could be explanations. Travel, maybe hot weather in India, lots of meetings, but it's really beyond that. And knowing Trump, his executive time and the way he conducts his time here when he's here in America, I'm sure that he's not overtaxing himself. He's not allowing himself to be overtaxed to that point. It really appears that, to me, it's really starting to appear like there's something more affecting him than just the normal being tired or something about a schedule, maybe not getting sleep. It really goes beyond that. And that's one more thing I wanted to mention too. The tweets at 2 or 3 in the morning. And part of the reason my sleep never went back to normal. Part of the reason, well, it's somewhat part of the reason why I'm up so early is my sleep is far from normal. I probably will have a hard time having a normal night's sleep for the rest of my life. But for somebody, a 70-year-old man, or 72-year-old man, to be up at 2, 3 in the morning every night, tweeting is not normal. It's just, I mean, it happens, but there's usually more to it. If somebody has a routine, a regimen that like working out like me, or making these YouTube videos is part of it, but it really, where it's part of the lifestyle. But with Donald Trump, it does not appear that way. It appears just to be. It appears to really to me. It appears to be. It's starting to appear that he's got some kind of a substance abuse problem. And one more thing I want to talk about: the coronavirus. Personally, I mean, I've always understood that virus, the way this virus has been spreading, it's pretty much. I'm no medical expert, but it's always been in the back of my mind that this is just how these organisms, all organisms, work. Is it'll spread. That's how that's part of its drive as being a life form. It's going to spread, and sooner or later it's going to get here. And I think we're starting to see it's starting to occur to people now that sooner. I've seen a few things on TV where they're saying it's not a matter of when, or not a matter of if, but when it gets here. So yeah, and then the most alarming thing is Trump saying that we have it all under control. That he believes in the China's premier. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. But he believes in China's premier and that it's under control. And he said the CDC here has been doing great work, which I believe. But he says there's nothing to worry about here. It's all under control. And I understand to some extent what he's attempting to do. I think he sees the world markets and the Dow Jones starting to take a hit on this. As it becomes evident that it will spread worldwide. It will spread to here, and it's going to affect our markets without a doubt. And I think what he's trying to do I assume what he's trying to do is calm any panic so the markets don't go wild. But then too, I think you have to be honest with people. I think the better thing is to prepare people to be honest, and be prepared for precautions. Things to do, things not to do. I think the best thing, and I don't see this still, is the facts. I want to see the numbers of what exactly is the fatality percentage here. What is the common person? What are the common symptoms? What if somebody were to get this? Somebody my age, with my health. What would I have to expect? That's what I want to know, and I assume that's what most people would want to know. And when you tell people that, it alleviates their fears. And I still can't I still don't see any solid answers on that anywhere in the media or from politicians or anybody. Just some basic knowledge of that's the bottom line. Knowledge. Once you have knowledge, it'll alleviate any panic, which in turn will slow down or alleviate any of the market going wild and crashing. I think just telling people what to expect and how to deal with it. It takes out that the scare of not knowing. People picturing this, you hear people talking, and when I hear people talk about it, I picture the zombie epidemic. We really need to. I think we really need to get just basic facts out there, so that fear doesn't become an even bigger problem. Fear and panic doesn't become an even bigger problem than the actual virus itself. All right, that's all for right now. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good Wednesday.